Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. It's a new day, it's a new vision. We're already numb to the pain as Chelsea supporters of losing games, which happens every single week now. So there's that. But we're looking to move forward now, aren't we? We're looking to just put this whole season behind us. And I'm very happy to be seeing other stories starting to pop up now, even about Chelsea Football Club. So we can turn away from the football and focus on how to move forward. With this crazy situation that Chelsea have been in, we're going to have to wait for Poch to think really long term. But for the short term, we're getting little bits and pieces. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the latest. And we're going to get into some analysis around a certain striker. We're going to get into my thoughts about a certain midfielder at Chelsea Football Club and what does it mean for him going forward. And a story that's popped up in the last 24 hours, which has to be discussed in and around a certain Brazilian. So before we get cracking into all of that and my thoughts on everything, and then as we dive deep into the analysis, I want to let you know, don't forget, hit the subscribe button if you are new, like the video if you do enjoy this, and don't forget, hit the link in the description for channel number 2, Younes Talks, where I discuss everything completely non-football, non-sport, life, all sorts of things that can pop up on the random. Make sure you sub over there if you do enjoy. Videos are coming there very, very soon as well, so keep your eyes peeled. Let's get cracking. We're going to start with Vinicius Jr. That is the big elephant in the room over the last 24 hours. There's other footballing stories which I'm going to come to, but let's start with Vinicius, because Vinicius has been the centre of a controversy as far as I'm concerned. Well, it's not. Is it a controversy? Well, yes, for the supporters that done what they done. And this is a problem in Spain. In Spain, it is becoming a problem. It's a problem everywhere, but in Spain, it seems to be a reoccurring factor where you go to a football match and there just happens to be racism. There just happens to be racism, and it's blatant. It's not even one guy or two guys, or you find it here. It happens everywhere. This is something that cannot be eradicated. We have to make that clear. People expect the world to be completely white and blank and clean and pure. It's impossible. It's impossible. But in this country, you don't see it every week. It's a story that pops up once in a season or 2 seasons or whatnot. In Spain, it's a reoccurring factor, and it's getting quite ridiculous now. Vinicius Jr., centre of racist remarks, racist attacks as far as I'm concerned. It was just blatant. From supporters, the chants, the noises, the all sorts. And you look at how Vinicius Jr. ended up getting the red in that game where Real Madrid played just recently. And it's actually quite incredible how Vinicius was the one that paid the price for what went down in that game. Absolutely ridiculous. But the aftermath, what has sparked the outrage afterwards, is the authorities and what has actually been done with that game, with VAR, with La Liga. What's being done? Doesn't seem like there's much. As I've said, in Spain, this is a problem. There does seem to be a big racism issue in Spain. And anyone that's Spanish, please enlighten me in the comments. I want to say ¿por qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? I don't speak Spanish, but I know how to say ¿por qué? And I think that is the most relevant word right now. Why? 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 Why is it you have to attack a player like Vinicius on his skin colour? It's things that just shouldn't cross your mind. It just should not cross your mind. It should not cross your mind. It's like here in this country where if you're imagining watching, let's say you're watching Manchester City versus, you could take yesterday's game, Manchester City versus Chelsea, right? And all of a sudden, Sterling gets attacked by the crowd. It's ridiculous, and it doesn't compute. It does not cross the mind of 99.9% of people. It's always that little bit, and as I've said, that's always going to be there. But in Spain, it doesn't seem to just be 0.1%. This is the problem. It seems to be an issue. So Vinicius Jr. now on the aftermath has been completely outraged. Fair play to Real Madrid, obviously, even Florentino Perez. I think the president of La Liga, if I'm not mistaken, or someone quite high up in La Liga has come out and spoken and completely, what's the word here? They've not condoned this at all, basically. They've completely come out in support of Vinicius, and fair play. Now, there is a possible consequence because Vinicius is happy at Real Madrid. Vinicius is cool with his teammates and the way that he's been playing his football and whatnot. He's been absolutely fantastic. But how long can he keep this up for? How long can you just, take it? There comes a boiling point and there comes a moment where you go, no, you know what? I've had enough. And it could be that Vinicius has come to that. Because we're going to come to the latest. I'm going to show you what Vinicius could be about to do. And this is coming from Madrid Extra. Check this out. Breaking. Vinicius Jr. plans to speak out in an interview and threaten to leave Real Madrid. A possible departure this summer depends on a lot of factors. This could be pretty huge. And it's crazy because it has nothing to do with footballing reasons. Vinicius, as I've said, would be more than happy to stay at Real Madrid for footballing reasons. He's living his best life right now in terms of footballing reasons and his life as a footballer. Beautiful. Right? But his life as a professional, his life as a human being, as a person, is completely affected. Because this isn't the first or the second or the third time he's got this in Spain. This is the problem. For many players in other countries, it tends to happen once. There's a big deal made about it. It's squashed. Doesn't quite happen to that player again. Or if it does for a second time, he's quite unlucky. Vinicius, as I've said, and not just him, this has happened to previous, and it's happened to a lot of Brazilians. It tends to be the Brazilians that suffer it. I think because of how good they are, they get the centre of attention, they get more of the attention, they get more of the attacks. Ronaldinho was a prime example in his prime. He got his fair share. Vinicius Jr. could be leaving Real Madrid just because he can't deal with it anymore. And I've seen Florentino Perez has done his most to try and, calm him down and to try and get him, on side and see the bigger picture and whatnot. And absolutely, as I've said, I think he'd be happy to stay at Real Madrid. Real Madrid, I think, his best life right now. But, as I've said, how long can he keep it up for? Now, this could alert a lot of other clubs. This is huge. This is potentially huge because he could turn around and go, I'm handing in a transfer request. I want to go. I'm very sorry. And Real Madrid would have to entertain it. They can't force him to stay. If not, he'd just be completely unhappy, and not even for the reasons that many people would think in terms of, I just don't want to be at this club. He just does not want to be in Spain anymore, if this is the case. So this could alert a lot of other football clubs across world football to pay attention. Vinicius Jr. could be on the market here. So look, in terms of the racism stuff, look, I hope he's okay, firstly, and I hope it gets somewhat sorted, and I hope we see some sort of... It's hard to say what action needs to be taken because as I've said, it can't be eradicated, but you kind of need to educate people. I think that's the only way. You have to educate people and show them what they're actually doing wrong and try and teach them and try and get them within themselves to understand that you're judging someone based on their skin colour. Like, what? It's ridiculous. It's actually stupid. It's ridiculous. I think that's the way to go, more down the educational route. It's the only way to go, I think, in terms of trying to understand and try and get someone to understand they're wrong. But the consequence of this could be Vinicius Jr. Moving away from Real Madrid. Now, I'm going to say this. As a Chelsea supporter, Todd Boehly, if you want to do one thing absolutely correct, if this guy gets on the market, is available, makes it clear in an interview or whatever that he wants to leave, mate, you best believe you should be front of line to put in a bid for Vinicius Jr. Yes, please. Anyone would be ridiculous to say no. It'd be stupid. It's Vinicius Jr. Come on. Let's wait and see what happens, because I truly think, my personal opinion, I think that they will come to some sort of a, not just an agreement. I think things will calm down. I think Vinicius will end up calming down eventually. I think he'll stay at Real Madrid. But if he makes that decision, I want to go, Chelsea, Todd Boehly, you best be ready. You best be ready to start firing them shots. Fire those shots. No matter how much it costs, we're going to sell flipping half the squad, aren't we? Might as well go in for Vinicius Jr. So look, we'll see how that goes down. Talking about big money signings and big money moves, it seems like there was a rumour about Vlahovic. Chelsea putting in an £80 million bid. I said 18 million euro pounds. Bloody hell. Economists are throwing themselves off a bridge right now after that remark. They've all retired. Vlahovic for an 80 million euro bid, which apparently, this was from ESPN and Julien Laurens, who tends to be quite reliable. Fabrizio Romano has come out with this. Understand Chelsea haven't sent 18 million euro bid for Dusan Vlahovic as of now. He's one of many strikers appreciated at the club, but no bid or talks. Bayern and Manchester United remain in the race for Vlahovic, but still waiting for Juventus's decision. Now, Juventus are about to be slapped with another fine, another deduction, it seems. It does seem like the appeal. Initially that worked, has now not worked, and Juventus are in fact going to be punished. So they got their points back and now they're about to get deducted again. So it seems very unstable at Juventus. I don't know what to think of Vlahovic. Vlahovic strikes me as a striker that, yeah, is good. But I'm going to say my own personal opinion. I'm not sold. I'm scared Vlahovic would be a striker that would come to Chelsea and just flop, just like the others. You know, and I feel like Chelsea need, and this is my own personal opinion, Chelsea need to look within. Chelsea need to look within the Premier League, I would say. Chelsea need to look at, if they're going to look overseas, at strikers that are absolutely killing it at where they're at. You know, Vlahovic is not killing it at Serie A. He was at Fiorentina, I'd say to an extent. And then he went to Juventus and it's gone cold. It's not terrible, but I think, what is it, like 19 goals in 41 games or so? Or is it less than that? I need to double check. But it doesn't strike you as prolific, you know? And if you're going to come into the Premier League, you need to understand the Premier League is going to be harder than wherever you've been. So you need to show that you've been killing it where you've been to know that you stand a chance here in the Premier League. Or you look within, you look in the Premier League. Now, that's difficult, I have to say. It's for Chelsea, I can't really blame Chelsea much here because the options are scarce. The options are dire as far as I'm concerned. Ivan Toney would have been one that many people would have preferred, but he's been banned. He's out for months because of his betting scandal. You know, Harry Kane, that's never going to happen. If it does, Poch could be the ultimate guy to decide that, to get that happening, but it's very, very, very unlikely. Very unlikely. You know, so the rumour was that Tottenham could be in for Edouard Mendy. Now, if they even think about approaching us for one of their players, you best believe Harry Kane needs to be part of the conversation. I'm sorry. If not, we're not doing business. We didn't do business for years. We're not doing business then. So Chelsea need to take the A side in that. Vlahovic, as I've said, it's a lot of money. 80 million euros on Vlahovic, I think, is ridiculous. I'm sorry. No. We have to be careful because of our finances. As I said, the only exception to not think about money would be to go for Vinicius Jr. That's the only one. That's the only time I'm going, okay, look, throw the bank at Real Madrid if you have to. It's Vinicius Jr. But for Vlahovic, no. I'm sorry. I'm not sold. I'm not sold. I have to say, it's difficult to mention alternatives. What are the alternatives? You know, and I want to leave that to you. If you had to decide the striker for Chelsea Football Club, realistically, who would it be? Let me know in the comments. Much appreciated. Now, to end, we're going to jump into the latest in and around Arsenal and Manchester City and Mason Mount. This is from David Ornstein. Check this out. Arsenal trying to sign Man City captain Ilkay Gundogan. Arteta wants 32-year-old if Xhaka goes. Fresh attempts will be made to keep him at Man City. Other options, Arsenal additionally pushing hard for Rice and Mount. Renewed offers to secure Nwaneri. Now, it seems like from Arsenal, you have Xhaka that could be potentially leaving, and hence why they could be going for Gundogan. Now, on the flip side, just what do I think of that? Some Arsenal fans are going to be, I've seen some Arsenal fans are not happy. They're going like, oh no, but Gundogan is being, let go by Man City. Why are we going for him? I understand, but I think it doesn't apply in this context. Why? Man City want to keep him. Man City are in a similar situation to where Chelsea were with Willian. It's a case of Gundogan wants to stay, Man City want him to stay. But Man City want to offer him 1 year, he wants 2 years. You get them to resolve it. It won't be resolved. It won't be resolved. We just know Man City will not budge, and Gundogan doesn't want 1 year. What does that mean? You're not signing a new contract. If you're not signing a new contract, you're leaving. So it's not a case of Man City don't want him. And that's where, look, I think Arsenal getting Gundogan, Rice and Mount overall, it's a blinding window, if I'm honest. There is also the rumour. There was another rumour that Arsenal could be looking at, I forgot what player it was, but they are looking at someone else as well. But Arsenal are looking like they're trying to do their utmost to make sure they bring in good talent to try and actually win the Premier League title. Gundogan would be one hell of an acquirement. Same with Declan Rice. But with Gundogan, it would be short term. We have to be honest. He's 32 years old. And this is where Arsenal fans not being happy, I can understand. Because they go in, look, Man City have used this guy already. We're now going for him and he's going to be here for what, 1-2 years? What's the point when you can go for a 22-year-old, and try and actually create a team that's going to take you for the long run? I understand that. And if Arsenal fans are not happy with that, I get it. But Gundogan would be a good buy. Let's have it right. He would be a good buy. For what Arsenal need, I think that would be brilliant. Especially just to replace Xhaka. That would be class. Declan Rice, absolutely, right? You just know it. Especially in an Arsenal team, I think it'd work. Mason Mount, this is where Arsenal apparently are looking for a creative player. And they've turned to Mason Mount. Now, they've probably turned to Mason Mount because they've turned to Declan Rice. And those two come as part and parcel of the same package, right? They just do. They're best friends. I don't see this happening. If Mount leaves, I think he goes to Liverpool. But Arsenal looking for a creative player, just off the bat, let me just say, Mason Mount's not that guy. He's not that guy. A creative player here. We're not talking about a midfielder to come in and just add to goals or just add to the midfield. Fair enough. You want energy. You want someone that's going to run for weeks for you. You want someone that's going to bring at least a good considerable amount of experience at such a young age. Yeah, Mason Mount's the guy. You want someone creative. Nah, Mason Mount's not the guy. He's not the guy. So, Arsenal's strategy there, I'm not quite sure what it quite means. If they are turning to Mount for a creative outlet, if they want that, fair play. How much are you offering? I'll take it. Because it doesn't concern and it doesn't worry me. If they're looking for a creative player and they want to turn to Mount, that does not worry me. That does not worry me one bit. So, we'll wait and see what happens in that aspect. But, as I've said, Mason Mount looking to be kept by Chelsea, but is there going to be a negotiation that is accepted by both? I don't see it happening. And as I've already mentioned, I think Liverpool's strategy of getting Mason Mount scares me more than Arsenal's. Liverpool, clearly Klopp has a role. That Wijnaldum role. That role that's going to have a midfielder come in and exploit some of those spaces with the energy. Mason Mount is capable of doing that. Someone that's going to be, I'd say, fairly simplistic. There's a role to do. This is the role. Can you execute it? Mason Mount is the guy. Klopp and the way that he wants to use him definitely concerns me more than Arsenal's strategy. So you know what? If he's going to go, I hope he goes to Arsenal. Let's wait and see what happens. Let me know your thoughts down below in relation to all of that I've mentioned. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on Vinicius. If he were to become available, would you take him? Of course you would. How much would you be willing to pay? Vlahovic, would you take Vlahovic at Chelsea? And this whole Arsenal Gundogan situation, do you think that's a good buy for them? Do you think they should be looking for someone younger? Also, Declan Rice and Mason Mount to Arsenal, and should Chelsea let go of Mount to Arsenal? Let me know down below, much appreciated, and I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new one. Thank you all so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash the like button if you've enjoyed this. See you tomorrow, people. In a bit, take care and peace.